ready.
Oh, okay. Okay, I have personally been a victim of domestic violence. And what is domestic violence or abuse? What the
Basics.
Oh,
It's okay.
okay. So domestic abuse is just a pattern of dangerous or controlling behavior. It can be psychological, it can be sexual, it could be verbal abuse, and it can take place anywhere. And it doesn't discriminate, so male, female, black, white, anybody could face domestic violence. Okay, and these are just a few domestic violence statistics in the United States. And this is a graph that just kind of lets you know victims of domestic violence. And if you notice, there's actually men in there, so not just women face domestic violence. This speech will tug at your heart, especially if you can relate. My name is Jennifer Matthews. I am a speech student at UALR, and I've completed my service learning at Women and Children First. And so today I'm going to tell you about my organization of choice. So first I will share with you my service learning experience. Next I will tell you about the different communication concepts and how they tie into my service learning. And lastly, I will tell you about one communication concept I could use to improve my communication in my community. So now let me begin by telling you a little bit about my service learning of choice. I completed my learning service at Women and Children First. So after reading through the mission statement, according to www.wcfarkansas.org, their mission statement is to empower women and children to live independently and free from domestic violence. And these are a few of the services that they provide. So they provide a shelter, they provide a 24-hour hotline crisis intervention, and then they also even have child care services available. And most of the people that are employed by them have actually been victims of domestic violence themselves. The location is in Little Rock. It's actually confidential to keep all of the victims safe. So if you were to pass it, you wouldn't even know it was there. It's a large 3-story house. They have probably about 50 women and children that they can house. And they have, a kitchen, they have a sunroom, playroom, and they even have, they have one classroom, which is for child care services. So if you were to ever go there, and it's very laid back atmosphere, and you pass people, in the hallways, or you might see kids in the playrooms, or people going in and out. So it's kind of just like you would be in your own home. So if you are downstairs cooking, one of the things that I did when I was there was I worked with a lady for about an hour. She does the hotline crisis intervention, and she actually was filling in for the girl that was usually there, and she's been there for a lot of years, but she just comes in as a fill-in, and she actually, they call and you write out all their information, and she said that people actually will call and not really need services, so they'll kind of just try to get in and not really actually need it. And when they realize it's her, they'll either hang up or they will have somebody else call for them. And something else that I got to do was one of my hours, I got to go. There was a new house guest, and I had an assignment to gather her clothes up, shoes up. Because a lot of these situations, they don't have time to gather all the stuff that they need. And so that was one of my assignments, was to help the shelter manager, Holly, and gather some items up for the new house guest. But I didn't get to meet her because she was actually asleep. So when I carried her stuff up to her, she was asleep. And on my very last day, the shelter had an event where they had hair and makeup for all the moms. And it was actually somewhere else, it wasn't there. But I volunteered in their daycare. And I played with children, we ate snacks, we played outside, watched movies, and it was anywhere from a 3-month-old baby to probably about 11-year-old kids. So it's just a variety of ages that I worked with. So next I'm going to tell you about 2 communication concepts that tie into my service learning. One of them is self-esteem. And according to Abigail Lane Gooch, is the value of importance we place on our perceived characteristics. So a lot of people that deal with domestic violence may have like self-esteem issues just from all the verbal abuse that they may be going through. And an example that illustrates this is I didn't get to really meet a lot of the guests, but I passed a lot in the hall, and a lot of them you could tell really were kind of distant and kind of down. You could tell that they're having, a hard time. And then a second communication concept is respect. And the definition, according to Lane, Abigail, and Gooch, 2014, is acknowledging others by listening well and validating their points of view. So the an example of that would be there's advocates there, and they're kind of the go-to people, and they're also there to listen to all the shelter guests, and they, they have to be there to listen to the guests and keep all their information confidential. And then my example illustrates the definition because anyone in a abusive relationship needs somebody they can talk to. Okay, and one relevant communication principle is open-ended questions. The definition, according to Lane, Abigail, and Gooch, is questions that require more than yes or no answer. So when I had, an example of this was when I had to gather all the clothes and the items for the house guests, I had to ask questions that received more than a yes or no answer. So I'd ask, where do I take these clothes? Are they hanging up according to size? Where can I find this? Where can I find that? So an example illustrates this because most questions require to give answers to make it where they have all the necessary resources available. So now I'll discuss how I can improve my communication in my own community. Based on my service experience, I can use communication concepts and civil and ethical implications to improve my communication and help improve my community. And everyone could use real-life experiences to improve their own community. One community concept that I would use would be prompts. The definition, according to Lane, Abigail, and Gooch, is silence, go on, I'm listening. Let the speaker know that you're listening and then the speaker to continue. And one thing that I've noticed is that I tend to use eye contact and just nod my head instead of using actual words. So that is one thing that I could improve whenever I'm actually having a conversation with somebody. Okay, I can use this concept to improve the communication by using more words, such as go on and shaking my head. And then a civic or ethical implication I could use to improve my community would be trustworthiness. And the definition, according to UALR's Survival Guide 2017, is the degree to which the accuracy of our ideas, shared information can be used by others to make decisions.
Okay, pause. We want to let her finish? Are we a kind group or are we a mean group?
Oh, am I over? I
Yeah.
can't see.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. My decision maintaining the trust needed for a healthy community. I chose the implication based on my service learning because the house guests have to trust the employees to keep their information confidential and be that person that they can go to. And in conclusion, today I told you about my service learning experience, and today I share my service learning experience, how explain the different communication concepts and principles tied to my service learning, and lastly I told you how I can improve my communication and how I can improve my community. So with a little help from others, you can overcome any obstacles that may come your way.